Welcome, everyone. It is Sunday, September 17th, 2023. It's the MMAOB Daily Podcast. It's your host, as always, Adam Martin and Big Marcel. Here to Sunday morning again, 10:30 a.m. Just decided to do it early today. Get out of the way for the week, guys. Just a lot to talk about for last night. Honestly, Marcel, I didn't want to wait. Again, I didn't want to wait till tomorrow. I just wanted to go and talk about the extremely controversial scorecard in the Valentina Shevchenko and Alexa Grasso title fight last night at Noche UFC. We're going to be recapping that. So we have an hour. I got about an hour and a half, guys, until I have to go. So we're going to recap that, the whole card for about 45 minutes. And then we're going to do a second podcast previewing UFC Vegas 79, Fiziev Gamrot. But Marcel, we have a lot to talk about with this card. First off, man, how are you doing? And what did you think of the event last night?
Yeah, man, I feel the same way. It's good that we talk about it now, about the event. Yeah, it was there was some fun fights, but there are also some, I don't think it was really spectacular, to be really honest, man. But, I feel like as long as the people were happy there, and I feel like they were pretty happy during the fights, okay, besides that co-main event they were not happy about. But, it was a... It wasn't a bad night, but I also didn't feel like it lived up to the expectation, and that's pretty much because I don't think it was really a strong card, but there was a lot of Mexican talent on it, so I think the UFC tried to bang on that. But just let's go in on the main event. I think that's why everybody wants to know.
Into it too. Yeah, so as far as last time, I actually had a pretty good night, Marcel, but I'll tell you right now, if Alexa Grasso won, I would have been laughing today, guys, but we end up with a draw. And okay, so here's the thing about this fight.
Here's the thing, you guys.
Here's the thing, right? It's John Strickland. Here's the thing. Yeah, with that deep, raspy voice. I think you could score 48-47 for either fighter. I think that's fine. I think you'd agree with me. The fourth round is what it comes down to. The other rounds are easy to score in this fight. This is actually a pretty easy fight to score, except for the fourth round, which again is a very close round. I think Valentina kind of won the beginning of it, and then I thought Grasso kind of stole it back late. I leaned Grasso last night 48-47 very, very closely. And when I went to a split decision, I wasn't surprised at all. But split draw, that shocked me. I got to be honest. I just don't see how you get a 10-8 scorecard in the fifth round there, guys, for Grasso. So we've talked about Mike Bell in this podcast. Mike Bell's a great judge. He actually follows us both on Twitter. So I'm actually criticizing him. And I'm sure he's reading it right now. And he's like, well, this guy's a prick. I probably shouldn't follow him. So, that might happen. But listen, it's the truth. It was just a very weird scorecard. And it's very hard to get there. I don't really know why he made that decision. I kind of feel like it's one where he has to explain it. I got to be honest with myself. This is one of those fights where we've had it happen a few times. You remember Demetrius Johnson, Ian McCall, they made a scorecard error when they tallied the scores. I thought that's what happened here. I'm like, okay, they must have just tallied it incorrectly because there's no 10-8 round here. But there really was a 10-8 round, the fifth round by Mike Bell for Alexa Grasso to retain her belt. She isn't defended, by the way. That's not a title defense. This is a retention. I don't think it counts as a title defense, Marcel.
I think it does.
You sure?
Yeah, I think it does. But
really, I know, Frankie Edgar had one, I believe, right, when he fought Gray Maynard. I thought it didn't count towards it, but maybe I'm wrong. But either way,
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'll double check that. But for me, it's just it's not. I don't really think it's a title defense. I don't know. She's getting her belt back, but to me, it's more of a no contest kind of situation. Listen, it was a close fight. Either fighter could have won the split decision there, but getting a 10-8 there to force a draw is very weird. It's almost like they just wanted to send the crowd home kind of happy, I guess, Marcel, in a way, right? Give me your thoughts on this, man, because again, I like Mike Bell. I think he's one of the better judges, guys, but this scorecard is very, very hard to defend, I think.
Round one, pretty clear to Valentina. Round two, pretty clear to Grasso. Round three, pretty clear to Valentina. Round five, pretty clear to Grasso. Yeah, round four, it came up to for me, and it was listen, 40-47, either way, I'm cool with, I think you explained it exactly. I think Shevchenko got the first part of the fourth round. I think Grasso took the second part of the fourth round. And people are now, let's talk about a 10-8. People are he probably wanted to make the home crowd happy. If he wanted that, he could have scored the 10-9 for Grasso in the fourth round, you know what I mean? But he scored it for Shevchenko. So, I'm with Mike Bell. Listen, man, horrible 10-8 scorecard. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a horrible scorecard. But at the same time, he's consistently the best judge in MMA, and I think he had an off night because I didn't agree with a lot of his scorecards last night, And normally I always agree or I either see the argument he has, how he scores it, And now it was Listen, the thing is, like, Grasso was super dominant in the last minute of the fight, but you got to take a mention the last minute of the fight, but you got to take a mention the other minutes of that round, and it was like that was not dominant. You know what I mean? It was like, I think Valentina had the first part of that fifth round, and then Grasso finally came through, and she did very well. For me, it was 48-47 either way. I didn't mind, because, like I said, super close. And I actually thought at the moment when I heard the 47-47, I thought Mike Bell scored maybe round 4, 10-10. You know what I mean? So, but it's not even that. So, it's just weird, It's just like, and I hate that it's Mike Bell, because I think he's a great judge, normally, and now he's gonna get shit on for
he's getting
life
destroyed on Twitter, bro. Like I was nice to him. So were you, man?
Yeah,
he's getting fucking reamed.
But not only today, but he's gonna hear this for the rest of his life. This scorecard, you know what I mean? And also, like, every fighter and commentator is shitting on him, and I'm like, you're shitting on Mike Bell for the scorecard. You should have shit on Saldi Amado for years, or to Chris Lee for years, and you didn't do that. And now you're gonna shit on Mike Bell. Listen, man, Mike Bell absolutely fucked up the scorecard, 100%. But you should have shit on the judges many times, And now you're gonna shit on Mike Bell because of a really, really bad scorecard. I fully agree, but come on, man, he's consistently the best judge in MMA, and that's why I didn't publicly let's say a shit on him, because normally he scores well. So it's like really weird, I can't say this, but I just said I hope it was Saldi Amado who scored that for a draw. You know what I mean? Because then we would have been it's Sal, of course. But yeah, many people gonna now shit on Bell, and I mean it's a really bad scorecard, But then again, man, he normally does well, So I hate to hate on Bell,
You had Grasso winning too, Marcel. You had her winning,
like I said, round 4 was a toss-up for me. If you give it 48-47 Grasso, I would be cool. 48-47 Shevchenko would be cool, and that's what I said. Like, people saying like Mike Bell wanted to, how do you say that? To make the Mexican crowd happy. If he really wanted to do that, he would have given Grasso the fourth round. You know what I mean? And he didn't. So it's just, I really would love to hear the explanation.
I think the other thing, maybe like this shouldn't be the way it is, but like, because he can make a 10-8 round, he could be like, okay, well, that's more indicative of how close the fight was. He thought it was like an actual draw. But again, getting there with a 10-8 round doesn't make sense. If he had a 10-10 round and it was 48-48 instead, that would make more sense. I'd be like, okay, like, I don't agree with it, but again, it makes a little bit more sense. By the way, I just got a Discord message from James Lynch's Discord. I won the Survivor pool, Marcel. There we go, baby. Nice. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. So I'm in the next one. You should join too, Marcel. You maybe this time we'll kick your ass.
I always forget, man. When you guys even tagging me in it, I was like, I'll reply later, and then I forget.
Because you're breaking too many fights. All right, let's get some comments, by the way, guys. We got Knox, we got Joe, Octaron Case, Crazy Pato. Hey Joe, what's up? It's the 5th wasn't 10-8 for Bullet. When 10-8 Bullet wins, I had it for Bullet. Oh, I see what you're saying. You thought she won, eh? Okay, well, I mean, I thought Grasso won, but it's close. What's next for Grasso? Like, hey Jamie, I don't think it's a trilogy fight. Like, I don't really. I mean, it was a good fight. It was actually a really good fight, Marcel. I kind of feel like it should have been fight of the night, but they didn't give out a fight of the night bonus, which is fine.
This is actually really easy now for the UFC. They want to go to Mexico. You fucking do Grasso Shevchenko 3. And you do Manon Fiorot against Blanchfield.
And they can do that.
This actually makes sense for them, because if Grasso clearly won the fight or just won the fight, you don't do a third fight, and then it's like, what should we do? Fiorot or Blanchfield, they're both deserving, and now it's like,
Who'd you pick in a third fight?
I still lean Grasso, man. The thing with Grasso's problem in this whole fight was her takedown defense, dude.
Yep.
I mean, she was like, I think she was on the feet, she was better. I even think on the ground she landed a little bit more if she was in good position. But her takedown defense, dude, I mean, she was way too easy to take to the ground. And listen, man, I mean, she shouldn't have made it that close, in my opinion. You know what I mean? The thing is, like, Shevchenko also bothered me the whole week, and I don't know why, but it's like she really sits on a high horse for some reason, man. She's like, I'm the best and nobody's better than me. Nobody comes even close. I'm like, listen, your last 2 and now your last 3 fights have all been competitive. You know what I mean? It's not like, and she's like, yeah, I was leading 4-0. No, you weren't, you know? And it's like, does she only have the yes men in her corner or something who don't tell her like, hey, she gave you a good fight, give some respect? Man, if it comes to that, man, I respect Grasso, man. Grasso's super respectful, you know, the whole damn time. And even after the fight, she's super respectful as well. So I don't know what's with Valentina. She's a great fighter, but man, she is. And I don't say she lost, but she's a sore loser, dude. If it doesn't go her way, a really sore loser.
No, I completely agree. Do you want to move on? Okay, we should move on. Actually, we only have 45 minutes to do this. So, yeah. By the way, I do want to talk about this though. Like the back takes, that was kind of where Grasso was winning the fight when she would get in those scrambles and take her back, and she did it a few times. And Valentina fucked up again, leaving her back exposed. So that's a weakness, obviously, and Grasso has exploited that a couple times now. Generally curious how long we have to see these ridiculous judge scorecards for all the agree sports for the weird boxing. I mean, it's been happening for a while, man. Again, like this is just weird because again, it's so out of character for this judge. Like he's a very good judge. Like it's just very out of character to have a bizarre round like this. But I will say, Marcel, like at the end of the day, guys, he is a person, right? So people like it's not a computer, right? So it's a person. People have like bad days. People have, you know, there's days where I don't do good at my job. I'm sure you're the same way, Marcel. Everyone's like that, right? You have your good days, your bad days, or you're like not so good days, basically. This was not one of his better days. And I think it's a really good segue into the next fight here between Jack Della, Maddalena, and Kevin Holland. Now, full disclosure, obviously, I picked Holland in this fight, and I didn't think he won. I thought Jack Della, Maddalena won. I thought it was very, very close fight, but I gave Jack 1 and 3. Mike Bell had it for Holland. Don't agree with that. Kevin Ioli, I think, on the screen had 30-27 Holland. Like, I just really disagree with that scorecard, man. That's wild. I know actually, according to the stats, Holland did outstrike Jack. But I didn't feel it that way except for the second round where he outstruck him by 15 strikes, and I think that was the clearest round for Holland, right? The second. Yeah, very close fight, Marcel. I think it came down to the third round. I thought Holland was doing well, and I think Jack really stole it late. I think he just stole it late, went to the body, went to the head, did those combinations with the hands, edged it out. I don't know what I feel about this guy right now. Like he's won 6 straight fights in the UFC. He's impressive at times, but like maybe he just took too many fights this year. It's his third fight. He also had to cut weight that second time at the last fight, Marcel, and then had that really hard fight with Hafez. And now, you know, a pretty tough fight with Holland. Like, I don't know what I feel about Jack. Like, he did beat these guys, and it's a good win to have against Holland, but like, is he top 10 potential? Like I thought at the beginning, I'm not sure now. You know, I kind of questioned it, but like he's top 15, don't get me wrong, but like to get into that upper echelon, like you got to be really good. So I'm curious to see who they match him up with next. Right now, he's ranked number 14, just beat number 13. A lot of people talk about Ian Machado Gary. Honestly, I'm fine with that fight if they want to do it. I think another option would be Vicente Luque, number 10. I think that would be a really, really good fight. So those two fights make sense. Jeff Neal is another guy. But again, you get into the top 10. These guys are really fucking good, man. So, and there really is, Marcel, a pretty big drop off after like that top 7, 8. Like those guys are so well-rounded and dangerous. So yeah, anyways, I wasn't super impressed, but he did get the job done. So give me your thoughts on this fight, man.
I mean, I don't think it was really a bad fight. I think both guys were like almost playing chess, you know, we're really looking and definitely this man Holland was really hesitant with what he was doing. He wanted to keep the distance. Jack tried to, but he has a big reach disadvantage, you know. Listen, is it crazy if I say I scored a 30-27 for Jack? Because I think it was close.
That's what you had? You had 30-27?
Yeah, 30-27 for Jack. Yeah.
I mean, the second round, I think Holland won it. But
yeah, that's what a friend of mine thought as well, you know. But I saw it differently. But it was a close round. Round 2 was a close round in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, close fight. I think Jack won. What can I say? I like to see Jack against a guy like Vicente Luque, Gilbert Burns, these kind of guys. You know, would be fun. And Holland also said afterwards on Instagram, "Okay, guys, my bad." You know. I mean, it was the thing was, I think Jack won, but man, somebody's calling me the whole damn time. Fuck off.
Breaking news.
Yeah, that's what I think. 30-27, but 29-28 would be good as well. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like disagree really. Let's go to the next fight here. Raul Rojas Jr. defeats Eric Mitchell first round knockout. Now, man, Mitchell looked really good at weigh-ins, guys. He was shredded. He was ready to go. And that stare down, it was the best stare down on the card. You watched the weigh-ins too, right, Marcel? Yeah. By the way, dude, how awesome was the weigh-ins like outside, like with the Mexican theme? I thought it was fucking awesome. Did you like it? No, they should do that more often. Like, why make them boring? Like, make them cool like that. What?
I mean, it was fun, you know, but I kind of got annoyed during the broadcast with that same Mexican jingle the whole damn time. It's like you only have money to buy one jingle. You know what I mean? It's like,
fair enough. I just thought it was cool, and like the fighters like dressed up a little bit and put like
with the mariachi band. Yeah, it was fun.
And that thing was cool too. So, anyways, Raul Rosas Jr. gets the win though. 54 seconds gets the bonus. By the way, I fell asleep like honestly right after the card. Dana didn't speak, right? I'm assuming Sean Shelby didn't speak. So when did they announce the bonuses via Twitter? Is that how they did it, or?
I have no idea, dude.
All right, but they gave out 5 though. They gave out 5.
Yeah, all the finishes, right?
Yes, all the finishes. So, anyways, he looked good. I mean, there's nothing else to say. But Mitchell again, he's not UFC caliber. So 2 straight first round knockout losses. Anyone from Alaska FC besides really Jared Cannonier and maybe there's someone else I'm forgetting is not good.
Medic.
Who?
I want to give Medic.
Oh, Euros Medic? Yeah, he's not bad. Yeah. But anyways, I mean, Rosas won. Like, the kid's clearly talented. You know, he's 18 years old. He's 2-1 in the UFC. I mean, that's fucking amazing. So, again, I don't know how good he really is because this guy he beat, like, really is not good at all. Like, I'm trying to be nice here. Terrence Mitchell's just not a UFC caliber fighter. He's just not at all. Do you think he gets cut, by the way? Do you think he gets one more because he's taking these, like, kind of tough fights? Like, what do you think?
Actually, not many people know, but this is actually a short notice fight for Terrence Mitchell because Terrence wasn't supposed to be like the original opponent for Raul for this fight.
Who was supposed to be?
I think it was. I told you, but I'm not gonna put him on the spot here. But I'll tell you off the record. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think he gets another one for sure.
Yeah. Anyways,
I'll put in the private chat.
Cool. Rosas gets the win though, and you know, nice victory for him. Oh, okay. Yeah. We talked about that actually. They might have been announced actually, Marcel. Now I think about it. Anyways, go to the next fight. Huber looks phenomenal. Submits Christos Gugos. Christos definitely won the first round, but again, gassed out, right? He always gasses out in his fights, like after the first round for the most part. So again, strong start by Giagos. His striking looked pretty good, but eventually Huber finds the range. And then, man, first off, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I was getting pretty excited about that takedown defense. I'm not gonna lie. I'll just say that, Marcel. That was some of the best takedown defense I've ever seen in this fight. The balance was absolutely fucking unreal. Like there was one shot where Giagos had him so deep, and I don't know how he was able to fend off that takedown. It was incredible. In the end, he gets the submission win. I thought a knockout was going to happen. I didn't think he'd submit him, so that's really impressive to me. I like Huber, Marcel. I mean, again, he did start slow in this fight. It was kind of reminding me of that Ogden fight. I'm like, oh shit, he's not throwing again. Oh no, like start throwing, dude. But once he found his range, Marcel, it was game over for Giagos. What do you think of his performance? I thought the kid looked really good.
Yeah, man. I think like you said, man, he didn't start well, and he has that. Huber has sometimes in his fights that he does something and he gets clipped, you know.
Yep.
But he recouped, you know, and I think Giagos gassed out, and he went for a kind of a sloppy takedown, and man, Huber had that anaconda quick in, you know, and beautiful win for Huber. Happy for him. Finally got a finish in the UFC. It's his third fight, you know. I think his first fight was really like a stinker against Trey Ogden, was that right? And now he got, and the second one against Vanada was also like he started really well, I think, and then he did really bad, and then he did well again. But now it was like again some kind of adversity, but good finish, man. Was good to see, man. I think Huber has definitely some upside, and hope to see he can continue the way he does. You know, hope he can continue the way he does.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Kyle Nelson picks up the upset over Fernando Padilla. Again, a close fight, but I thought Nelson won. Again, Padilla I thought won the first round, and then the second and third round went to Kyle Nelson, Canadian. Sal Dumalo giving that first round. Nelson don't agree, I don't agree with that. I thought Padilla won the first round. To me, it came down to the third round, right? It was close, but Nelson pulled away late. Second straight upset win for this guy, man. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I feel the same way, man. I think Nelson took 2 and 3, but I was thinking that probably Padilla could get the decision, but he didn't. I mean, Nelson finally got his streak going, right, in the UFC the first time. Two back-to-back wins, you know. Before that, had that draw against Korea against Do Choi. good year so far, dude, for Kyle Nelson in the UFC. So yeah, I'm happy for him.
Yep. Going to the prelims here, Lupi Godinez, amazing performance, gets the bonus over Elise Reed. Just fucking dominated her. 5 takedowns, 6 submission attempts. Elise Reed, her arm looked like that Gumby guy, Marcel, that green dude. You know, can bend. But eventually gets the tap. It's kind of a shame almost for Reed because she fought like really hard in this fight. Like she did not want to get finished and then still ended up getting submitted. That's what I thought would happen in this fight. Lupi gets the submission. To me, honestly, Marcel, this was her best performance in the UFC. She looked fucking amazing. She looked fucking incredible.
By far. Amazing. I mean, she knocked her down in the first round. Then she almost finished her with an arm bar. I don't know how Elise got out of there. And then the second round, she got the rear naked choke, man. I mean, yeah, man, very good win for Lupi. And listen, we both picked Lupi in that fight, but she fought much more aggressive than normally. She fought very well, I think. Yeah, and maybe that camp switch to Alexa Grasso's camp and Diego Lopez camp did well for her. So yeah, we'll see, man, what's next for her. And man, I still think if she fights that well, she should be called Lupita, not Lupi. Lupi sounds very sweet, you know, and Lupita sounds like I'm from the hood and I'm coming to knock your ass out or going to kill you, you know. So she should switch to Lupita, and it sounds more Mexican as well. I know she's like Mexican Canadian, right? She moved to Canada at a certain age. Yeah, great win, man. What can you say? What else can you say? It was one of the better wins of the card, I think.
She looked good. Just a couple of comments, guys. Like I'm trying to be mindful of time, but I'll get some. They can give 5 bonuses last week, but not to Volkov. I agree. I mean, that was ridiculous. The Volkov didn't get 50K bonus. That was so stupid. Like, come on, that was incredible. So Hoover trained. Someone's asking. He trains at Extreme Couture, so he's training with Strickland. He's training with Curtis. There's some other guys obviously there. Glenn, yeah, just because of the time difference. I mean, he didn't know what time it was at. That's okay. He can watch the replay. Glenn, sorry, buddy. We just had to do it earlier this week. But anyways, getting back to the fights. Let's go back to the next one, Marcel. We had my boy, Roman Kopylov. Once again, guys, another fucking amazing masterpiece. I'll say that. He painted a fucking masterpiece on Josh Sharm's face and body. This guy's so fucking legit. Like, I've been telling you guys, man, this guy's incredible. For me, Marcel, was when he destroyed Puna Soriano, because I think Puna's a pretty good fighter, honestly, and, like, he fucking fucked him up in that fight. Like, he destroyed him, and obviously did cheer for that, but, like, look at the last 2 fights. Like, the last fight, again, I don't know how he didn't get a bonus for that fight, that baseball kick, head kick in the last fight, and then comes back here, quick turnaround, Marcel, 6 weeks later, and gets another knockout here over Josh Frem, goes to the body, gets a body shot knockout. You know, Frem, I'll give him credit, man. He was fucking hanging tough again against a guy who was clearly better than him, but Kopylov, phenomenal takedown defense, stopped all 5 of the shots by Josh Frem, and outstruck him and then knocked him out with that punch to the body. Like, I really like this guy, Marcel. I'm very excited about him. Again, you know, guys, like, these fighters don't have long careers, but sometimes they have these periods in their careers where they just do really well. Like, look at Sean Strickland right now. Like, he might not be the best middleweight of all time, but he's the best middleweight rate this second, like rate this month, rate this week, whatever. Kopylov right now is like one of the best middleweights in the world. He needs to step up in competition after this win. I understand these guys aren't ranked. He's been beating, but the way he's been beating him is beyond impressive. He's stuffing all takedowns and then knocking them out. 4 straight knockout wins, Marcel. I'm beyond fucking hyped. I know you are too, man. Give me your thoughts on this guy.
That's exactly the thing, man. I always say, like, you can beat people, but it's the way you do, you know. And this is impressive afterwards, you know. Like I said on Twitter, man, this guy started 0-2 in the UFC, but he turned it completely around, you know. Yep. And yeah, I mean, I should definitely give him somebody in the top 15, man.
Well, I think Chris Curtis is the fight because he's been.
I wouldn't say that.
Why not?
I wouldn't say that.
Why not? You would or you wouldn't?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
you like that fight? Yeah, because he's number 14, right? It makes sense, doesn't it? Like, I think it makes. And again, remember you called out Strickland after his last fight. He's not getting that fight now, but yeah, I mean, you're hyped on Roman too, right? Like, so am I, man.
Yeah, I was before he even came in the UFC, and then he came to the UFC and he got fucking choked out by Carl Roberson, and it's like, what the hell is happening here?
He looked terrible in that fight.
Yeah. So yeah.
And then, but the Derive fight was the 3rd round, I think, where he kind of started.
He came back in the 3rd round,
right? Yeah. So like, that's when you started to see, like, hey, maybe this guy's actually decent. And then, I mean, wow, like, it's been pretty incredible to watch. He is 32 years old, so he's basically in his prime right now. They have to like start fast tracking him. I would imagine, Marcel, he gets a shot in another pay-per-view card, like a main event slot, I would say. Or maybe it's like the featured prelim. I think Chris Curtis makes sense. I'm looking at the rankings, guys. If Kelvin Gastelum could fight number 11, that makes a lot of sense too. But like again, Kelvin is just so injury prone. And then someone else went to the top 10 because Brunson got released, right? Is that correct? Brunson was released. That's confirmed.
Yeah, he's not with the promotion anymore. I don't know
what happened. Okay, you don't know. Okay. So anyways, he's out of the rankings. So it's possible Roman could enter number 15. Like I would put him 15 right now. I would. Because I think
the only thing.
Yeah, doesn't have a ranked win, right?
Yeah, the only thing I can think with Brunson is that he might got injured, and that he was like, fuck it, I'm already at the end of my career or whatever. I'm not gonna go come back again, and maybe that's why. But I mean, it was kind of weird, the timing, because he had the fight planned with the Leitzer, right?
No, I completely agree. I'm just kind of looking at like middleweights. Yeah, I mean, all those guys there's a lot of good fighters in the middleweight division. Like they'll find a good fight for this guy. But I just think he's deserving of a ranked opponent. Oh yeah, Gaston was at 170. I guess. I mean, he doesn't fight at all, so I don't know. But anyways, yeah. I was just looking at the rankings, Marcus. Like anyone, because the thing is, like, if he's not going to fight 185, then he shouldn't be in the top 15 anymore. Take him out. When was the last time he even fought? Shit, I can't even remember. Can you actually remember the last time Gaston fought?
Curtis. Yeah, and that's Chris.
Oh yeah, that's right. Earlier this year, that's true. That was at 185. Okay, fair enough. It was a close fight. And he won. Yeah, that was. But like before that, it was 2 years ago. So like he just doesn't fight. I completely forgot about that fight. By the way, it was a really good fight actually. So my bad there. Anyways, let's go to the next fight, guys. Delize. Delize needs an opponent. That actually, Roman Kopylov, Roman Delize. That the battle of the Romans. They could definitely market that.
I honestly like it. I think it's
a main
fun
event,
fight,
like
but
at fight night, like
no, just put it on fucking New York where Delize is supposed to fight. I think Kopylov is good to go. So
yeah, he didn't take any damage. I'd imagine that he's going to get a nice contract boost as well. I think the UFC will probably try to lock him down now if they haven't already to like one of those. I would imagine, Marcel, they're going to give him like a 4 to 6 fight contract. I would think with Kopylov, try to get him now where he's a little bit cheaper because he's going to get more expensive to sign once he starts, fighting top 50 guys and then knocking them out. Because not many guys like I think he's second on the UFC behind Pavlovich for most knockouts in a row. Pavlovich has 6 and Kopylov has 4. That's not easy to do, Marcel.
No, definitely not.
Dude, knocking people out is hard to do. Knocking them out in the UFC level is not easy to do. I don't care who
they're Russian, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the Russians have power, man. All right, let's go. Let's get through this. Edgar Shirez, Daniel Lacerda. Yeah, Chris Tione fucked this up. I mean, you know what though? His arm did drop. I got to give like the ref a little bit of slack here. It was kind of a weird one, but I'm just glad because it's in Vegas. They can use replay. They can overturn it because that shouldn't be a loss on the guy's record really. But at the same time, I can see why the ref did it and replay. His arm went down like this, right? So. Yeah, it's kind of shady. It sucks. I think run it back. I mean, I don't really feel like they took much damage. It was more of like it was actually a slower paced fight for the Lacerda, to be honest. But I'd say just run it back. They could probably book it for like next month. I would imagine. Like, these guys took no damage. Any thoughts?
So, this official always fucks shit up, So the thing is that this is not something that stands alone. I kind of give him some room here because indeed. Lacerda's arm dropped, so I give him some room here. But Chris always fucks it up, At the same time, he was man enough to go to Lacerda and say, "Listen, man, I fucked up, my mistake. I'm sorry," And I respect that honestly. You don't see that often happening, So I respect that. Yeah, man. For Lacerda, dude is 0-4 on 1 no contest now in the UFC, But it's fun to watch. I would rebook the fight wherever, Listen, maybe you can say, the thing is like, this was like, they want to have Chairez win. Let's be honest. It's a Mexican, Noche UFC event. Chairez against Lacerda. You can do this one, and I would say you can do this in Sao Paulo, but I mean, that would suck for Chairez at the same time because he didn't do anything wrong. So, fuck it, man. Just do it in put it on the New York card on prelims, man. This is a fun one. Put it in front of our audience.
I mean, they could do it in Brazil too. That Sao Paulo card that could open the card up. I think that would be a great like first fight on the card. What do you think? I think that'd be great. Open up the show with some violence. Just get through these last couple of fights. Tracy Cortez.
I'm fully with Knox, by the way.
What do you say?
What are they going to stop?
Jared Villel is not good, and Tione, I mean, he's not one of the best. But again, this one I can kind of give him some slack a little bit, Marcel. And again, he wasn't a douche about it. It was like, oh yeah, I was right. Anyways, hopefully they can run it back. Tracy Cortez gets the win over Jazz DeVicius. Very close fight here as well. I don't agree with these 30-27 Cortez scorecards. I thought Jazz clearly won the second round. personally, but I thought Cortez won the first and third. I think that's what it was, right? Am I doing it wrong? Am I thinking wrong?
No, I'm with you. I think she did very good with her boxing in the first round, Cortez,
really good.
Mm-hmm. And the third round, she also scored more points, So I think she definitely won the first and third round. What really bothered me in this fight was the commentary, The commentary was like, that's very well done by Tracy Cortez. Then Jasmine grabbed her. Tracy should go to the left and to do this to get out of that. Tracy should do that. Listen, guys. You're not Tracy's corner, You got to be neutral in your commentary, and you're like clearly biased to Tracy Cortez. And it was both Cruz, it was DC, and it was Anik, all three, And they didn't say one time Jasmine this. No, it was always, even when Jasmine did something good, they were like, Tracy does this bad, It's like such a weird narrative. I also tweeted it because it really annoyed me. Normally I let it go, But this time it really annoyed me, Because in the second round, I think Jasmine did well in the second round. She put in the wrestling and stuff. And they were like talking how Tracy should do better to prevent Jasmine to control her on the ground. And I was like, what the hell? You didn't say like Jasmine should put up her left or right hand to prevent herself from getting hit by Tracy. You know what I mean? So it's really weird to me. But 1-3 for Cortez, I agree.
Yeah. A good win for her. I mean, Jasmine's a scrappy fighter. Like, Jasmine's pretty good too, man. Like, there's no doubt. Like, she beats a lot of girls, very tough. All her fights have gone the distance, so very, very tough. Good chin. But yeah, I thought Cortez boxed her up and won with the boxing. Like, did she even attempt to take? She attempted one takedown the whole fight. That's I didn't really see the fight going this way, to be honest. I thought it'd be a lot more grappling, but yeah, I mean, it was good win for her. She's 5-0 now in the UFC. She is ranked, obviously. Who would you match up her with next? I mean, someone pretty good, right? I would imagine, right?
Cortez, why the fuck you don't match her up with Casey O'Neill?
Cortez and O'Neill. O'Neill is number 12. Okay, she's actually ranked ahead of her. Huh, yeah. I don't even know. Is that okay? Fair enough. Natalia Silva, that would be a good fight. I know you'd like that one, Marcel.
Yeah, for sure. But Natalia will destroy her.
That's the problem. Honest. But yeah, it'd be a good looking fight. The Cannibal, Charlie Campbell, gets his first UFC win in his debut, knocking out Alex Reyes, a guy who hasn't fought in 6 years. Not really sure why Alex Reyes came back. Very, very bizarre. I mean, you don't see that. You don't see that, Marcel. 6-year layoff. You know what's crazy? 6 years to the day. His last fight was September 16th, 2017. That's crazy. That is really crazy.
I don't think we even did the podcast back then, right?
No, I mean, he hasn't fought in a long time. I mean, I was doing the podcast, but it was
but not with me.
Oh my God, I think it was by myself at that point. But yeah, before I got Cole on and you and man, he got destroyed. Charlie Campbell looked great. I'm glad he got a bonus, man. Good for him, man. You know, he looked amazing. And then my girl Josephine Knudsen. I mean, listen, Marcel. I had a third 24. Mike Bell had, and I agree with him. To me, it was 3-10 rounds. Like, and you look at the stats. 81-8 in significant strikes, 147-39 total strikes, 10.5 minutes of control time to 30 seconds. So it was an absolute domination, but didn't finish the fight. I'll give Man credit. Very, very tough. Showed a good chin in this fight. Got her ass kicked. I just think Knudsen's really good, but she played it a little safe. And it's like, I don't think the UFC is going to really push her up the ladder until she starts getting finishes. I know she tried in this fight. The other girl was really tough. I'll give her credit, but she should have been able to finish a fight like this, Marcel. Give me your thoughts.
You all know already, if Dana saw this fight, they're going to give Knudsen a very difficult matchup in our next fight, because they want her to fight, you know what I mean? And I don't say she don't fight, but they want her to fight, you know what I mean? Yep. And not to play it safe or whatever, or to I don't want to actually say she played it safe, but she was like
I kind of felt like she did, to be honest.
Yeah, if we're kind of 50-50 on it, man. I was like 30-24, start playing it safe. Yeah, maybe you should finish. Yeah, I think, but it's also like, I agree with Craig Allen, what he said on Twitter. There's becoming a certain narrative with the first Dana White Contender Series, like, you should finish, you know? Sometimes a dominant decision is okay as well. You know, this is her debut. Let's don't give her too much slack for it, I feel, you know. Although, I don't think this girl, the Marnik man, is really UFC.
No, by the way, we got to get these guys are right. I should have mentioned this. She would hurt her. And again, she did in the show. She hurts you and then clinches you. She is relatively new to MMA, right? So there's a chance that she can learn from this. But I mean, Dana, I'm sure, was pulling whatever hair he has left out of his head out. Yeah, exactly, Pato. So, anyways, overall, I mean, I thought the car was pretty good. Like, not amazing, but pretty good. I would give it like a 7 out of 10. Is that fair, Marcel? 7 out of 10?
I would give it a 6.5.
Yeah. So there were some good things, but again, for me, my main event was my boy Russian Chase Cooper. Or Chase Cooper, Russian Chase Hooper. Dude, he looks exactly like him. It's fucking uncanny. I'll say that. All right, guys, let's just go to really quickly. We'll do Contender Series, Marcel. We can recap that show from last week. Once again, Dana White, he hands out the contracts like candy. Do you miss when a guy would finish the fight and still not get signed? There was still that like you're not sure because if Dana thought it was that great of a finish or something. Like, because again, I'm looking at this card. I can't really fault Dana for signing all 5 fighters. I will say that. I'll go through quickly and get your really quick thoughts on this. But I thought Lon Top looked good. I mean, he didn't get the finish, but he dominated. Joanta Deniz is the guy that stood out for me the most. Like, the heavyweight division needs guys like this that can knock you the fuck out. This guy's striking is extremely technical, and he has so much power. He's just a really strong guy. I'm excited to see his debut. I think you definitely have to put him on that card in Sao Paulo. Stephen Wynn, third shot UFC to make the UFC. He gets in finally. I thought he looked great, Ninja.
Oh,
and then Pulaski looked good, and Matsumoto looked good. I don't blame Dana for anything signing. Go ahead.
Who was the ref with AJ against Stephen Wynn?
Let me check right now. Because that fight should have been stopped. Mark Smith.
Mark Smith, yeah, big fucking surprise. Also weird, and he didn't even step in after round 1. He actually let Stephen Wynn give him an extra hammer fist after the bell. After the buzzer. Yeah.
Oh
weird.
Man,
should have been stopped. But yeah.
Who's your standout in this card? Was it Denise too?
Oh yeah, Jonathan Denise is really good. He's really fun to watch. He got the knockout power. He comes from kickboxing. I know for a long time, man. He fought in the early glory days as a heavyweight. So I'm happy for him. He transitioned out to MMA and he looked good. And looking forward what's next for him. Polastri, got to give her credits as well. 2 years ago she came up short against Jessica the Vicious. Now came back and she looked pretty good. I think the first round was really competitive. Second round she destroyed her pretty much. Overall pretty fun card, I enjoyed it.
Do you blame Dana for giving him 5 deals again? Because they all look good, right?
Yeah, actually the guy we didn't got to finish. He also was impressive, the James Lon what's Jean Top or how do you say it?
Lon Top, yeah.
Lon Top, yeah. I had no problem with it.
James Lon Top, yeah. James, yeah. The Casey Tanner guy also looked pretty good. He'll probably get another fight. Or Dana said he might get a short notice UFC fight. He did say that, actually. Marcel, yeah. Patrick, what's up, man? You got to go back and listen. Hey, what's up, Tristan? I like Denise. He did fight Rico in Glory 10 years ago, which is crazy. Contender Series has been good. I agree with Marcus. I like it better than PFL. I don't think anyone disagrees with you, Marcus, there. Junior and Top on Denise, sure. That would be a great fight. All right. Yeah, I think we're good there, Marcel. Okay, guys, here's the thing. We have a time crunch kind of today because I got to leave around 12. So I got about 40 minutes. I think the best thing to do, honestly, is to end this one and then start the new one to preview UFC Vegas 79. Keep saying it wrong.
Patrick is like, Marcellus aggressive this morning. Yeah, man, it's just listen, we're a long time watching MMA, and the thing is Mike Bell gets a lot of shit online, and I understand for that 10-8 scorecard, but you got to look at it for the whole perspective. He's normally one of the best judges, so listen, man, I don't agree with the 10-8 scorecard for sure, but I got to defend him, I got to defend him overall as a whole because he's gonna get shit on, dude, on Twitter, and I hate to see it because normally he's one of the best. But yeah, horrible scorecard.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Anyways, guys, we're gonna end this. We'll start the new podcast up in a second here. Appreciate everyone jumping in. Just give me a sec. I'm gonna get the new podcast going, and we're gonna preview UFC Vegas 79. Talk to you soon. Bye.